make of Project 2029? I know that maybe you guys are copying Republicans who came up with Project 2025, but why can't Democrats just move on, get away from the TDS, move the country forward on policy, not on retribution?
I think Democrats will move forward on policy, and Todd Blanche is going to see what voters reject in November, and he's going to see what the Senate rejects even before that, which is going to be him. Unfortunately. Look, he was a good attorney when he was in the U.S. Southern District of New York. He had a good reputation. He beclowned himself for Donald Trump. He did so in that interview at the end right there. Why is the Attorney General of the United States commenting on politics? That should never happen in the United States of America. It has been happening under Donald Trump, and it is ridiculous, and the voters are going to reject that this fall.
Mehek, your thoughts of the Project 2029 for Democrats to go after those who are associated with the administration or those who they feel like they want to punish for working for Donald Trump?
Well, Katie, it's the Democrats' final act. They didn't learn anything from their autopsy report. Their hatred for President Trump is actually clouding their judgment. They're not able to bring back issues that matter most to the American people, and they're recycling the same issues: boys and girls sports, hatred towards all Republicans, hatred towards President Trump. And now you have Chris Hahn attacking Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche. When I heard the interview, and so did millions of Americans watching your show, and what he said was he's not going to worry about weaponization and politics. He's going to do his job, and if it happens, he's going to continue to make sure that Americans see what's happening. But this is what we have rejected time and time again. Hate has no place in America. What we want are solutions for affordability, safety, and security. And the reason Democrats
Where are they
today is because they refuse
Where are
to
those
secure the
solutions that they promised us? They're not there.
And this is another Democrat staging point where they continue to interrupt Republicans who have common sense. So that's my answer to you in terms of Democrats and their old tired playbook.
Luke, speaking of the work that the acting attorney general is doing, we were in Ohio today. We saw this big announcement. Much of the fraud that was exposed in Ohio is because of your reporting. What did you think of today's press conference, and how deep does the scheme go? Are we just scratching the surface here?
Well, they really brought out the big guns. I mean, you had Dr. Oz there in addition to Blanche and Patel, quite a few other administration figures, all saying basically this is ending now. I mean, hundreds of millions of dollars have been going out the door to Medicaid, and it's bankrupting the country. And, I think they talked about both prosecuting the bad actors, but also stopping it from occurring in the first place. Dr. Oz drew an analogy to illegal immigration, that it's a lot easier to stop these people from coming in than it is to get rid of them after the fact. So, he mentioned one of my stories, no more private jets and champagne, which is one of these Medicaid scammers. Literally says he has a private jet. He's pictured drinking champagne.
Must be
He's
nice.
a refugee from Bhutan. So they're going to crack down on that, but it's also a matter of changing policy so that this money never goes out the door to begin with.
Yeah, Mehek, it was great to see you there for this press conference and these announcements, and to see the new fraudsters list from the FBI. But you've also done a lot of digging in Ohio on these groups. Can you tell us about your experience there and what these task forces moving forward mean in Ohio, but potentially for other states that are willing to share the data to prevent this kind of fraud?
Well, I think the biggest obstructionists today are really the people in Ohio. They have had a lack of political will or desire, and it was back in December when I uncovered millions of Medicaid fraud. I continue to talk about home health care. I went to empty buildings. It's the same places that Luke went that I gave lists to the AG's office, to the Ohio Department of Medicaid. So it took national embarrassment and somebody like Luke to come in from an insider. I'm an Ohioan, I'm a taxpayer. Finally, we have all eyes on Ohio, so I applaud all the work that's been done. But I have to tell you one thing, Katie, this press conference was a turn in Ohio's course and fraud's course, because now you have MOUs and data sharing with the Secretary of State's office. Think about fraud. They're actually registering independently. We're not verifying if they have criminal backgrounds and things like that. So that's stage one, making sure we get all of these business filings to the new fraud unit. If every state could follow what Ohio is doing and work with our national fraud partners and Assistant Attorney General Colin McDaniel McDonald, we will be not only the shining example in the Midwest leading the charge, but we will finally be able to eliminate fraud. That is exactly what Colin McDonald has promised to do under President Trump's administration.